Hey everyone, Kimchica here, and it is time to get ready for another Indiewatch because March is fast approaching. So as always, Indiewatches are where I feature 5 games I'm most anticipating for the coming month. Of course, the game industry moves quite quickly, and so there are always titles that I'll be posting about on my Twitter that may not be able to make it in these videos. So if you follow me at Kimchica25, that'll be a great way to get some more highlights on indie games and just a peek into other stuff that I do. So without further ado, here is this month's selection. Way of the Pacifist. The time of fighting for fighting's sake has come to a close. The way of the Pacifist has begun. This 90s-inspired arcade brawler takes a typically assumed component in fighting games, you know, the fighting, and to a certain degree removes it from your arsenal. Instead of fighting fire with fire, you'll instead use defensive mechanics and strategy to outwit your opponents. No more button mashing here. On this desolate planet, you are the wanderer. You are calm, ready to outlast your foes. And with varying difficulty settings, the developers have made this game one anyone can feel welcome to try out, regardless of previous brawler or fighting game experience. They have additional accessibility options that include cleaning up the HUD, additional contrast with their visuals, and even varying degrees of information you can find out about your combat and strategy. Play Way of the Pacifist on March 6 for PS4, Windows, and Xbox One. Chuchel. This is a title so distinctive and quirky, you can't help but take at least a small pause when you first see it. Chuchel is a word from the Czech language used to describe a ball of hair and dust, and that is your main character, a cheerful little ball of dust with a stubborn streak. A tangential fun fact, the personality of Chuchel was created by combining, in his words, the slightly bothersome personality of creator Jaromir and the incredibly nice and naive personality of his pup, Anka. If nothing else, this anecdote makes me want to see more. Fortunately, there's more than just cute anecdotes to keep you interested in this title. This comedy-adventure game is filled with puzzles where you try to help Chuchel and his rival Chuchel in their goal of obtaining the ever-elusive cherry. This IGF finalist will be available to play on March 7th on Windows, Mac, Android, and iOS. Murderous Pursuits. You have been invited to the most deadly of dinner parties. Murderous Pursuits combine a strategic and stealth mentality with a steampunky Clue vibe. Mr. X has invited you and up to 7 additional players aboard a ship where you must blend in to complete your goal. Assassinate your assigned person without leaving any witnesses to tell the tale. Hide from your opponents by blending in with the NPCs and trying to mimic their behaviors in vignettes. But make sure you don't let your guard down and potentially get taken out yourself. Collect and equip weapons, change disguises, and use your wits to outplay the other guests. Each player even gets 2 power-ups to make the mind games you play with one another even more complex. Anyone who's played Mafia, Village of Salem, or Deceit should take note, as your ability to deceive will come in handy here. This game of cat and mouse releases March 2018, no official date as of this video, and will be available exclusively for Windows. Surviving Mars. After sending a Tesla into orbit, what's next? Well, if you play Surviving Mars, the logical next step is colonization. Make your next home sweet home on the Martian plains in this survival crafting sim. Of course, it'll take more than just a bit of sprucing up to do before it's ready for human life. Oxygen, structures, supplies, and a knowledge of the local wildlife and topography are a must. But once that's settled, you'll hopefully have a colony that you can be proud of. In what can be considered loose story modes, you can pick a space agency that'll provide guidance and a basic trajectory of goals in exchange for financial support. Keep the big picture of expansion in mind, but don't forget that each of your colonists are individuals and their many needs must be met. Like many sim-style games, there's a lot of content to unpack with this title. Randomized research trees that will uncover a range of scientific breakthroughs ready to make your colonists' lives easier, a whole world to explore outside of the safety of your colony, and even modding tools to really make this journey your own. Pack your bags for March 15th. Surviving Mars will be available on Windows, Mac, Linux, PS4, Xbox One, and Xbox One X. Fen. Fen continues a story begun by Fen Prologue, which is actually going to be available for free on Steam starting March 5th, so this is like a bonus game. But this time, in Fen, you don't have to survive all by your lonesome. Woman Friday has arrived, which means you have to take care of someone else in addition to yourself. Yay? Struggle to make a home in this procedurally generated world by mining, exploring for resources in the surrounding areas, crafting helpful tools and defending your home from the locals. It's not all bad though. You can work to make your life more comfortable and habitable, and maybe, just maybe, start to thrive. Maybe. Again, be sure to check out the free prologue titled Fen Prologue on Windows out March 5th, and then Fen when it comes out March 16th, also on Windows. Those are the games that I'm currently anticipating for March. What about you? Did any of these strike your fancy? Now, of course, there are games that came out at the end of February that I would love to share, like Where the Water Tastes Like Wine. That's coming out on the 28th, and that didn't make it into my February video, so I'm going to throw the trailer in here right now so you can see it. This is a beautiful story-driven title that I had the honor of playing at PAX, and there will definitely be a video dedicated to this one. But again, I just had to add it here. It's a bonus game. You got like 1.5 extra games in this video. And of course, if you like what I do here, if you like what I'm trying to do with this channel, with spreading the word about indie games that I think should be noted, please consider leaving a like and or subscribing. And if live streams are your thing, if you enjoy hanging out in those, I do live stream Monday through Thursday, 1:30 to 3:30 Pacific time. And those are just really chill opportunities for you to drop in, to say hi. I love it when you guys do that, and to see, again, these indie games and some RPGs in action. So I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video.